Hey again, everybody. Brandon Swanson here for Most Valuable Podcasts, and we yet again are talking about our top 25 preseason preview. This time with number 6 moving our way up the ladder. It's the Baylor Bears. 11-2 last season in Art Briles' 8th year as head coach, 8-1 in the conference. Darn good. Replacing Bryce Petty. How do you do it? I don't know if you do. Do you replace Bryce Petty? Can you? You got to. But will you replace his talent? That's tough. However, you've got Seth Russell, who looks poised to take over the starting job. 48 of 85 last season, 804 yards, 8 touchdowns, just 1 INT. It's pretty good. Russell, more of a runner than what Bryce Petty was. So this is going to be pretty darn interesting. But this is one of the first times when I've looked at the quarterback situation of a new guy and felt like, man, he may come right in, be darn good. So this is exciting for me. Then you've got Junior Rashadrick, the Shock Linwood, 1,252 yards last season with 16 touchdowns. You are a monster. Absolute beast. On the receiving side, junior Corey Coleman is back to be the go-to man, 64 catches, over 1,000 yards last year with 11 touchdowns. And sophomore KD Cannon is back as well. These guys combined for 122 catches, over 2,000 yards, and 19 TDs last season. Damn, that's good. And then, the entire O-line returns. Talk about an offense poised to go off. I'm excited for the Baylor Bears. Defensive. D-end, Sean Oakman returns. First team all Big 12 selection. 11 solo sacks last year. Again, very good. You keep going down the line. You got to expect the linebacking crew to be good for this Baylor Bears team. Got to expect the secondary to be deep. Depth is definitely on their side. Defense will have to be just a notch or two improved to help support the offense, who I think will be very, very good. I have faith in Seth Russell. But being the new guy, it's always hard. It's always difficult. How will he transition to be the guy? You're no longer the backup. You're no longer going to come in and play a couple of snaps, even though he played much more than I think a couple of snaps. He did a lot with what he was given. But being new to the starting role can sometimes be difficult. A learning curve. Hopefully for Russell, doesn't take long. I don't think it will. Overall, I love Baylor this year. I love them this year. But maybe, not as much as TCU. Don't hate me. And I wish I had an earpiece where, Ricky was just able to whisper into my ear something. But Ricky tells me that in Baylor's team picture, they had 62 and 58 right next to each other. What a coincidence. The score between Baylor and TCU last year. Coincidence, though, right? And then 11-2 next to each other. Just so happens that was Baylor's record to end the season. But I'm sure they didn't do it on purpose. But if you did, that's fucking hilarious. Just saying. So good job for you. Now to the schedule. So this is, not to say easy, but I think Baylor can handle it. Especially week 1 through 7 or 8. Week 1 at SMU and the Mustangs. That's going to be a W. Week 2, the Lamar Cardinals. That's a W. Kind of running through those first couple of games. The Rice Owls. That's a win too. Week 4, start to get into it. Texas Tech and the Red Raiders. A 2-7 team in the conference last year. I think we're seeing a W. At Kansas, W. West Virginia, maybe more of a tougher game than they had been seeing earlier on. It's at home. I'm going to give the W to Baylor. We keep moving on. Iowa State, walk in the park. I'm sorry, Iowa State fans, walk in the park. That's a W for Baylor. Then you get into week 8 where I think a lot of K-State fans will be like, you idiot. You idiot. I gave the win to Baylor, but the game is up in the air. The game's up in the air. Could K-State win it? Sure. I predict K-State to be a good team this year. But Baylor, I think they're just a little bit better. I put a question mark next to this game because I wasn't fully confident that Baylor would get the win. So I'm putting that out there right now. Yeah, I have Baylor down for the win, but now with complete confidence. So K-State fans don't hate me. Baylor fans don't hate me. Just saying. Then week 9, Oklahoma Sooners. At home for Baylor. This is their first loss of the season. Oklahoma is going to sneak one past them for a win for the Sooners. Week 10 at Oklahoma State. That is a W. And then Friday, November 27th, TCU, the Horned Frogs. Big game on the road. It's going to be a big loss for Baylor. Big on TCU, folks. Big on TCU. Love Baylor. But TCU, come on. How can you not love them in this game? Home for TCU. Baylor goes on the road. It's a huge game. And then Baylor ends the season at home against Texas. That's a W. Baylor ends 10-2. Overall, 7-2 in the conference. Just like last year. Another good season for Baylor. But again, I have a question mark in the Week 8 game against K-State, but I'm pretty confident. Pretty confident about TCU and that game going to the Horned Frogs. This is going to be good this year. This is going to be good, especially after last year. Baylor, TCU. Baylor, TCU. One of these teams, one of these two teams gets into the college playoff this year. They do. You got to start to respect the Big 12 a little bit with teams like that who have been doing well. Right over my left shoulder, right up there in the corner of the Big 12 podcast that Ricky Widmer and myself did weeks ago, I think. We kept promising and kept promising. We finally did it. But interesting, talking a little bit about why teams like Baylor, like TCU, haven't been in it, and why they haven't. We have our thoughts. You want to have a thought on this? I know you do, and I know you want to say it to me. Whether you liked it, you disliked it, you agreed, you disagreed, let me know. Comment down below. Right underneath there, I want to hear what you have to say. Again, I say it a lot. We do these for you. It's fun. But it's fun getting comments back, positive or negative. Because if it's really negative and I really am mad, trust me, you'll get a great response. But you want to follow me on Twitter? At @young_swan19. Want to follow Most Valuable Podcasts? At Most Valuable Pod. I'm Brandon Swanson. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Don't forget that we started a Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcasts to check out all of our reward options. Remember, you can still get our content for free by subscribing to our YouTube page. But if you want to support us financially, now you can be rewarded for doing so. The link's in the description. What are you waiting for?